Here is my oil burner emergency shutoff switch. In the summertime, if we're going away and we don't want to have hot water, we will shut it right off. I'm going to show you today how you can turn off your hot water tank and not have to worry about turning off the actual furnace, so you'll still have heat to your house in the wintertime. So we're going to go downstairs and take a look at the hot water tank. So here we are in the boiler room, and as you can see, here's my hot water tank on the right. On the left is the boiler, and then in the middle here are all of my zones. And I have 4 zones, and you can see up here that my 4th zone is my hot water tank. I can see that my furnace is currently on right now, and I'm going to leave it on. I don't need to turn anything off to disconnect. This is the thermostat for my hot water heater, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this panel off so we can get to the wires inside. If you feel more comfortable, you might turn off the boiler right at your electrical box, but these are just 18 gauge wires, so they're nothing that's going to carry too much electricity through there. You can see that we have a little cog here that's going to allow me to set the temperature of my hot water tank, so you can do that right in there. Spin that little dial. We went away this winter. We didn't want our hot water to keep running, so we came down and shut this off. The furnace is going to keep running, and it's going to keep the room warm enough that our hot water tank isn't going to freeze up and break or anything. So I am going to take this off, and this is just going to disconnect it, so when it gets down to temperature, it's not going to tell the furnace to get that zone going. So we're going to come back in a little while, and we're going to turn it back on and see that my zone 4 will most likely kick in. So it's been a few hours, and my daughter has taken a shower. Hopefully it has drained the hot water out of here, so we can see that it's going to kick on the 4th zone. So I'm going to put my wires back on. And I heard it just kick on once I put the second one in. And you can probably hear the furnace coming on. And I'm going to put the plate back on. And we can see up here that zone 4 has kicked in. Here's another example of an oil burner emergency shutoff switch. We're going to take a look at this tank. It is a little bit different than mine. So here again we have our boiler, and then over here we have the hot water tank. So disconnecting the hot water tank in the wintertime is not going to be an issue because the boiler is going to keep the room warm enough. We do have our thermostat here. We're going to follow the thermostat up here to the panel, and I'm going to do my best to try to do this with one hand. So we're going to take off the screw up here to let us get into the panel. And then we're going to follow the line coming in, and it's this one right here. So it's showing me that right here is the line that's going to trip my zone for the hot water tank. So we're going to take that right off. And with that out, I'm not going to have the hot water tank tell the boiler that the water needs to be heated, so it will never turn that zone on, saving you some money in the winter time if you go away for the winter or if you just go on vacation for a week or so. So we're going to give this a little bit of time, and then we're going to come put it back on. So I'm going to leave the box right off for now. So I'm back. It's been a little while. Now we're going to put the line back in, and it should trip our hot water tank, telling the furnace that it needs water heated up, so that gauge has gone down. I'm going to try to do this with one hand again. You can see that we've done this one enough that we've put on a red mark on the screw that it needs to go into. So now we're going to be listening. You can probably hear that noise, and it's telling our furnace that the zone for the hot water needs to be turned on. So I'm going to put my panel back on. Put the screw back on that, and I am all set. And you probably can hear and see that it's drawing air, and it's telling that zone that it needs to turn on. I wouldn't ask my oil guy how to turn that off, because they're probably not going to want to tell you. They're going to obviously want to make money, have the hot water tank over here running all winter if you've gone to Arizona or North Carolina, somewhere like that. But hopefully this helped you out and can save you some money on your next vacation. Good luck!